Well, Lods D Punch Out TV, how are you all doing? Welcome back to another popular by demand episode of CrimeWatch UK for the crimes in boxing. Now, this is just a laugh, so don't take it to heart. It's called banter. We just have a laugh doing this. So, these are for the crimes committed in boxing. See what bellends we've got up on the board today. Like I say, backed by popular demand. So let's get the show started. In at number 4, we've got none other. I think it's his first time on here. The one and only Dev Sarni. The biggest rimmer. Well, not quite the biggest rimmer, but one of the biggest rimmers out there. This guy's got the creepiest voice in boxing. His voice goes through me. It cuts through me like a hot knife through butter. It's like one of them annoying kids when you were at school what used to screech his fingers down the blackboard. Cuts straight through me. Now, Dev's, aka Dev, the Sausage Sarni. Dev Sarni's in at number 4. Probably his first time on the board, but Dev Sarni is on the board for... I watched the Behind the Gloves programme yesterday, what Queensbury have done, or whatever it's called, around the table. And Dev Sarni to try and sell CHISORA versus JOYCE like it's some kind of undisputed heavyweight title fight. The cringiness from this guy is on another level. Also made me laugh because he dogs AJ like anything, but when AJ put it to him on the day of reckoning, the guy filled his nappy big time, and then he's back dogging AJ out again when he's not nowhere near him. But yeah, the Sausage Sarni's on here this week, this month, for having the creepiest voice in boxing, an absolute rimmer of bricktop, but always making out that boring arse fights or dull arse fights, what nobody wants to see, are some kind of mouth-watering fight what we just cannot wait for. So Dev, I'm that laptop in, kid. I'm sure the police would like to see what's on your hard drive. But Dev the Sausage Sarni, go and have a sausage bap and sit your ass down, kid. You're in at number 4. In at number 3, it's none other than the man himself, the super sloth, aka JOYCE. Now, a few years ago, up until a couple of years ago, this guy was looking like he was on the road to a shot at heavyweight title. But since he got silly banged off Zhilei Zhang, this guy now has gone bum bashing. He had a fight with Cash Ali, and fair credit to Cash Ali. If Cash Ali had a bit more power, JOYCE would have been looking up at the stars again. No two ways about it. This guy has got no defence whatsoever. Now he's gone from being a number 1 contender for the WBC to now a bum basher. He's bashing up old men, and that's how he's going to make his living. Now, JOYCE is an old arse pensioner himself, but he's fighting a guy who's shot to smithereens, who's a couple of years older than him. JOYCE really should know better. You can't make out that this fight is some kind of glittery fight, because it's not. It's going to be a one-way bashing, and that's JOYCE knocking the 10 barrels of shit out of Derek Chisora. Preferably putting Derek in hospital, or making him even more of a cabbage than what he is. So you had the chance to fight to fight Derek years ago, and you swerved him. Why now? Why now? Why do you want to beat up on an old man who's shot to smithereens and has only got 2% battery when he comes in the ring? So you ought to be ashamed of yourself, Joe Joyce. You should be fighting someone like Michael Hunter, someone like that, Ajit Kabayel, fighters like that, not going after beating up old men. And the cringiness from Joe Joyce on that behind the gloves was awful. Joe, you're not made for media. You've got no media skills whatsoever. You're slower than molasses. So this fight's going to be funny as anything. It's going to be like two old pissed up OAPs brawling around on a pub car park. So Joe, the super sloth Joyce, is in at number 3 for knowing better and going bum bashing. So Joe, go and climb back up that tree, kiddo. Right, in at number 2. Oh God, it's that man again. The man who stinks the place out with his L's. He's got 13 L's on his record. He's the only man in boxing history who's got 13 L's, but still somehow manages to be the main event of a boxing match, or is still pulling in pay-per-view views. The man who just doesn't know how to go away, hanging around all the time like a bad smell. It's none other than Derek the Beggar CHISORA, aka Derek Twist. He's out again with his begging bowl, begging for fights, gate crashing people's interviews. How the hell this guy has got a fight with Joe Joyce and top of the bill is beggar's belief. Now, yes, Derek's brought us many good fights over the years. Absolutely he has. And I like the guy. Can't deny I like Del. But Derek, you can't string 2 fucking words together, let alone a sentence together. You sound like Sloth off the Goonies, and you back out with your begging bowl again, begging for fights. Derek, like I say, you've got 2% battery. You're like one of them old Nokias what you put on charge, and you wake up in the morning and it just hasn't charged. You go to bed with 10% and you wake up with 13%. Derek, you've got 1 round in you and that's it. You're shot to bits. I said it after you fought Joseph Parker. I didn't ever want to see you again. Somehow I think you've managed to go on and have about 4 or 5 fights since then. Like I say, you sound like Sloth off the Goonies. You're just an embarrassment, stinking the place out. Nobody wants to see Derek War CHISORA anymore, or as I say, Derek Twist. Nobody wants to see you again with your begging bowl out, begging for a fight. So do us all a favour, Derek. Go and piss off somewhere. Go back to commentary where you belong, because you're quite good at that. But I don't want to see your 2% arse battery, your 2% battery arse in the ring anymore. You've got 1 round in you, then you're gone. You're blowing out your arse, and you're swinging for the hills and missing like God knows what. Like I say, this fight's going to be, I don't know, it's just going to be a laugh if anything. Well, it won't be a laugh because you're going to end up on your arse, looking up at the stars. Preferably, like I say, waking up in an hospital bed. I hope to God you're not, because I like Derek and I don't want that to happen to anyone. But Derek, do us all a favour, man. Honestly, nobody wants to see you in a ring anymore, so piss off. And last but not least, oh my God, it's the guy who just can't get off this board. The ultimate bellend promoter. So he's the number 1 bellend of the month. It's none other than Frank, a.k.a. Fish Eyes Warren, or a.k.a. Bricktop. Now, this fight for me shows me, if it wasn't for Turkey Al Sheikh, Turkey Neck, putting on these fights, that these would be the fights what Frank Warren would be giving us, and try and make it pay-per-view. How the hell can you, all these years later, come out and keep wheeling Derek CHISORA out when you said over, 9 years ago, this guy was shot to smithereens? You know damn well he doesn't stand a chance against Joe Joyce. He's going to get punched all over the place, up and down. He's going to be waking up on planet Mars. But somehow, you've wheeled him out again. Who are you going to dig up next, Frank? Jimmy Savile? For fuck's sake, man, this guy has got 2% battery. He's going to get absolutely pummeled off Joe Joyce. You know it, I know it, and the whole boxing world knows it. So, like I said, if it wasn't for Turkey Al Sheikh, these would be the fights that you would be putting on and charging pay-per-view for them. 2 OAPs scrapping it out on the ring, in the ring. One swinging for the fences and then blowing out of his arse after a round. The other one just slithering across the floor like a snail, swinging punches and them landing the week after. It's an embarrassment. But Bricktop, you'll do anything for a pound. No, we all know that. So the number one bell end of the month is none other than Fish Eyes, Bricktop, the one and only Frank Bricktop Warren. Like I say, sell his own mother for a pound would Frank. So that's all I've got to say on this matter this month. Them 4 bell ends are on the board. Maybe we'll see which bell ends are on next month. But peace out. Hope you enjoyed it. Like my brother from another mother used to say, tell him, Nick, tell him.
In the meantime, don't have nightmares. Do please sleep well. Good night.
Good night.